So this evening, here in the holiest abode, Sri Vrindavan Dham, where Krishna is personally present, and Srila Prabhupada is also present here. We're very much blessed with the opportunity to study from his most powerful, amazing translation and commentary on the Bhagavad-Gita entitled Bhagavad-Gita as It Is. There's so many editions of Bhagavad-Gita, but they are not as it is. They're telling something different, not to surrender to Krishna. But this Bhagavad-Gita, which actually tells what Krishna says, this is very important, because this is actually how we connect with Krishna. If we try to connect with Krishna through mental speculation, we will never be successful. But if we connect through the medium of the pure Vaishnava, the pure devotee, then we can actually become totally reconnected with Krishna. We can regain our original identities we once had in the spiritual world before we made the foolish attempt to try to enjoy separately from Krishna. So tonight we're studying 18:18. Bhagavad-Gita. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Jnanam Gyeyam Parigyata Trividha Karma Shodhana Karanam Karma Karta Iti Trividha Karma Sangraha Jnanam Gyayam Parigyata Trividha Karma Chodhana Karanam Karma Karteti Trividha Karma Sangraha Jnanam Knowledge Gyeyam the objective of knowledge Parigyata the knower Trividha of three kinds Karma of work Chodhana the impetus Karanam the senses Karma the work Karta the doer Iti thus Trividha of three kinds Karma of work Sangraha the accumulation. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Knowledge, the object of knowledge, and the knower are the three factors that motivate action. The senses, the work, and the doer are the three constituents of action. Purport. There are three kinds of impetus for daily work: knowledge, the object of knowledge, and the knower. The instruments of work, the work itself, and the worker are called the constituents of work. Any work done by any human being has these elements. Before one acts, there is some impetus, which is called inspiration. Any solution arrived at before work is actualized, is a subtle form of work. Then work takes the form of action. First, one has to undergo the psychological processes of thinking, feeling, and willing, and that is called impetus. The inspiration to work is the same if it comes from the scripture or from the instruction of the spiritual master. When the inspiration is there and the worker is there, then actual activity takes place by the help of the senses, including the mind, which is the center of all the senses. The sum total of all the constituents of an activity are called the accumulation of work. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Jata Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Scha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadaitam Savadutam Parijana Savitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Svaminiti Namine Namaste Sarasvate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangumnam Yagate Girim Yat Kripa Tamaham Vande Shri Guru Dinatarinam. So we're reading today how the inspiration for work is the same whether it comes from the spiritual master or from the scriptures. Why is that? The spiritual master, if he is a bona fide spiritual master, is a living embodiment of the scriptures. Sometimes we're bewildered by the activities or the instructions of the spiritual master. But we should not see him from a material viewpoint. We should understand that Krishna is actually guiding him from within, and we should understand that therefore I should accept his instructions and not try to find fault with or change his instructions. Sometimes the disciples, being carried away by material desires, decide they do not want to follow the instructions of the spiritual master. So this is very deadly, it's very dangerous, it means complete destroying one's spiritual life. One has to take the order of the spiritual master as one's very life and soul. I remember I was trained up by a very wonderful Vaishnava sannyasi. His name was His Holiness Vishnu Jana Swami. And Srila Prabhupada wrote me actually, he said, you have been trained up under the expert guidance of His Holiness Vishnu Jana Maharaj. So I take very seriously the instructions he gave me. And the example he said also, I remember just hearing him offer obeisances to Prabhupada one day in the temple room, just hearing the tone of voice. The way he said it was very, very powerful. But just like, Nama Om Vishnu Padaya, getting it done. He was diving deep, Nama Om Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Prestaya Bhutale, Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namane. He's putting his heart and soul into it. He was diving deep, deep, deep into the ocean of devotion to the spiritual master. So I remember Vishnu Jana Swami, he told me, you have to accept the words of Prabhupada as good as God. So I was a little shocked at first, as good as God. But then I thought about it, and it made sense. Because the spiritual master doesn't present his own teachings. He's heard from his spiritual master, he's heard from the scriptures, and his business simply is to repeat what is coming down from Krishna himself, the supreme authority. Krishna is the source of all existence. He's the supreme authority because everything is acting and moving under his direction. Nothing acts, even a fly can't jump from one side of the table to the other side of the table without the sanction of Krishna. Everything is going under his direction. So when Krishna speaks, it's absolute authority. We have to understand how important it is to completely accept the instructions of Krishna and to completely accept the instructions of the spiritual master who's the representative of Krishna. Even if it doesn't make sense to us sometimes, we just accept it. I don't understand why, but I'm going to do it because my spiritual master ordered me to do it, you see. So in this way, if one takes the order of the spiritual master as one's life and soul, then you actually become qualified to regain your original identity in the pastimes of Krishna in the spiritual world. If you want to act independently from the spiritual master, you're stuck here in the cycle of birth and death. You may remain a devotee, but you remain a neophyte devotee, you see. If you actually want to regain that original loving relationship with Krishna, you have to accept the spiritual master as good as God. That's the training I got, confirmed by Prabhupada. So when one actually does that and takes it very seriously, you see, then one actually has an amazing awakening within one's heart of transcendental bliss. You see, this material world is full of so many ups and downs, sukha dukkha, you see, hot and cold, happiness and distress, honor and dishonor. We're being whipped by all these dualities, day in and day out. One duality after another duality, after another duality, after another duality. It's a storm of dualities going on here. We're in the middle of a storm. But when you actually take the spiritual master's instructions of your very life and soul, dedicate yourself to carrying out his orders under all circumstances in a mood of humble submission, then you'll find that you actually transcend the world of dualities. You actually enter into dimension which is completely beyond what's going on in the material world right now. You actually enter into dimension where you feel how Krishna is present with you, how he's blessing you, how he's showering his mercy upon you at every minute. You see, Krishna's mercy is unlimited. He's actually showering unlimited mercy on every living entity for all of eternity. We just have to learn how to see that mercy and accept it and surrender to it. And then the most amazing transformation of consciousness will take place within our hearts. And when that awakening takes place within the hearts, then we receive something very special called empowerment to give Krishna to others. This is the order of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Jadidekatahe kaha Krishna upadesh amaragaya guru hoyutare desh. Whomever you meet, you must instruct them in the teachings of Krishna. And this way, Amarita, you become a guru, you deliver the suffering people of this world. So how do we get that empowerment to actually deliver them? Actually, Prabhupada told us on the morning walk in Los Angeles, he gave a very powerful order to us. He said, become perfect in understanding the science of Krishna, become guru, and deliver the whole world. That's the assignment he gave us. So we have a big, that is for each one of us individually and collectively. We all have, it's our family business, and each one of us should take that as my responsibility as a member of this family to see that this world is delivered. You see, it's not that only the sannyasis or the gurus or the Prabhupada disciples or no, everyone is meant to be a preacher. Preacher means your duty is to deliver the fallen souls of this world back to home, back to Godhead. So the more we can actually awaken that feeling of love for the spiritual master, that dedication to the spiritual master, that will empower us to make a tremendous difference in the world in which we live. You see? The world is just waiting actually for this Krishna consciousness movement. They're totally bewildered. They don't know what to do. The leaders don't know what they're doing. It's horrible what's going on right now. Just today we went to Varshana, and it's just shocking how there's tons of garbage just thrown on the side of the hill. This is a sacred hill of Radharani. And the government is so bad here The management is so bad of these temples, and the management is so bad. There's garbage everywhere. Beggars everywhere harassing you. I mean, it shows there's not a proper government. Even here in Braj Mandal, the holy land of Krishna, the government is ridiculous. They're not restricting these things. They're not properly managing things, you see. So what to speak of it here in Braj, but all over the world, the slaughterhouses, the abortion clinics, all hell is breaking loose on this planet. And it's our duty to purify ourselves so that we can be potent instruments for making a difference in the world. So we can actually leave this world a better place than when we were born in it. Right now it's getting worse and worse every day, but it should be, by our preaching, it should be getting better and better every day, you see. Instead of gliding down, it should be climbing up, you see. So we have to ask Krishna for his mercy. Please, Lord Krishna, bless us, we can be your pure devotees. And please bless us now that we can carry out the order of Srila Prabhupada to deliver the world. We want to see the whole world Krishna conscious. You want to see the high court judges in every country are wearing Vaishnava tilak. That is our goal. It's given by Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, you see. And we have to really be very serious about becoming Shuddha Bhakta, not Karma Mishra Bhakta, Jnana Mishra Bhakta, this Mishra Bhakta, that Mishra Bhakta. Each and every one of us be very serious to become the pure devotee. Prabhupada personally ordered me. He said, now you just become qualified to see Krishna face to face. That means a pure devotee. Premanjana charita bhakti valochanena santaksadaiva hidayeshu valokayanti yam shama shundaramachuntyaganas varupam Govindamari Purusham Tamaha Bhajami. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who is Shama Sundar, Krishna himself, with inconceivable, innumerable attributes, whom the pure devotees see in their heart of hearts, with the eye of devotion, tinged with the salve of love. Prabhupada ordered me to become like that, you see. And I wasn't some leader, I was just some rank and file brahmachari. And Prabhupada ordered me to become like that. So that's for every one of us. Prabhupada wants every one of us to become qualified to see Krishna face to face. He wants every one of us to become the pure devotee whose eyes are decorated with the salve of love. You see, this we have to come to. We have to come to this position of pure devotional service. Krishna has been waiting and watching us for millions of our lifetimes, going through the 8,400,000 species and the aquatics and the worms, the reptiles, the beasts, the birds, and now we finally got this human form where we have the opportunity to awaken our Krishna consciousness. So Krishna is really, really hoping that each and every one of us can now become the pure devotees, fully qualified to see him face to face and fully empowered for delivering the fallen souls of this planet back to home, back to Godhead. So let's all do our duty. It's not just the leaders, the gurus, the sannyasis. Each one of us has that duty to become a pure devotee and become empowered for delivering the fallen souls of this world back to home, back to Godhead. If we take this very seriously, as we sing every morning in our Nrsimha prayers, Bahir Nasingha Hridaye Nasingha. Prabhupada translated it in this way: may Lord Nrsimhadev dwell within my heart, killing all of my bad propensities, so that my mind becomes completely clean and I can bring peace to the entire world. So actually we're praying in the Nrsimha prayers every day for pure devotion and the empowerment to make the whole world Krishna conscious. So let's take these prayers very seriously, and not just once a day. We should always be in that mood of begging for pure devotional service and begging for the empowerment to successfully distribute the books, to make devotees, to cultivate the world population, how to educate them, how to come to the human platform. As long as they remain in the platform of eating, sleeping, mating, and defending, there's just animal life. Bhagavatam says, Dvipada Pashu, you see, two-legged animals. Shva vidvara ushtrakkarai sangstutak parashak pashu jat na jatta karma pato peto jattanamagada grajaha. Men who are like dogs, hogs, camels, and asses, praise those men who do not listen to the transcendental pastimes of Lord Sri Krishna, the deliverer from all evils. So, Prabhupada, in his lecture, he said, when these dogs, hogs, camels, and asses praise these men, who are they? He said, they're praising a big dog, a big hog, a big camel, a big ass, you see. That's the little one. The little dogs, the little dogs, hogs, camels, and asses are praising the big dogs, hogs, camels, and asses. So that's our present situation. We have a dog, hog, camel, ass civilization. The big ones and the little ones, they're all in the category of dogs, hogs, camels, and asses. So it's our duty now as devotees of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as followers of His divine grace, Om Vishnu Pad, Paramahamsa Parivajakacharya Astatarasadashi Shimad A.C. Bhakti-Vedanta Tridandi Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada. It's now our duty and our responsibility to take up this mission of Lord Chaitanya, to awaken that pure love of God within our hearts, and to make this whole world around us Krishna conscious as soon as possible, to fulfill the desire of the great Vaishnava Acharyas. Actually, it's going to happen. There's a 10,000-year period in the Kali Yuga. It's described, Kalir Dasa Sahasrani Madbhakta Samti Bhutale. It's given in the Kali Santarana Upanishad. In that 10,000-year period of the Kali Yuga, the whole world will become filled up with Vaishnavas. So that Prabhupada explained in his conversation with Allen Ginsberg that 10,000-year period began 500 years ago with the advent of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So now we still have another 9,500 years. Prabhupada explained in that conversation that it will hit a peak, like 5,000 years into it, it'll hit a peak in which the whole world will become Krishna conscious. Then after that, it'll gradually taper off, and after 10,000 years, the whole world will be filled up with Rakshasas, and finally Kalki Avatar will come and just annihilate them all and deliver them. So right now we're in actually the most exciting moment of history. Lord Chaitanya has come to plant the seed of this movement here in the Holy Land of India. Prabhupada has taken that seed of Chaitanya's movement and he's planted devotional creepers all over the world, and now we're the fruits of Prabhupada's planting. So now it's up to us to take this movement, which is still in a seed-like state, and expand it more and more and more and more and more. Some devotees are so inspired and enlivened by this duty we have of making the whole world Krishna conscious, they're thinking, well, back to Godhead can wait. Let me stay here birth after birth until this whole world becomes Krishna conscious, and then I can go back to Godhead. I remember when I was a young brahmachari, our temple president was very heavy. He had a policy. He went out on Sankirtan, book distribution. He said, here's your quota, and don't come back to the temple until you made your quota. He was very heavy. Don't come back. So one day I didn't make my quota, so I didn't come back. But so I was thinking, well, Prabhupada gave us a quota to make the whole world Krishna conscious. So how can we go back to Godhead? We haven't made our quota. Let's stick around. Let's take birth after birth. That we can take and say, Prabhupada, we did it. The whole world is Krishna conscious. All the high court judges are wearing tilak. We did it by your grace, the grace of your grace, the grace of the great acharyas, the grace of Lord Chaitanya. Now the whole world is Krishna conscious. This whole planet. You see, even they can spread all over the whole universe. You see. Or even the multi-universes. There's actually an infinite number of universes, and this movement can spread, it's very exciting if you take up this idea of, I want to be a servant of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for revolutionizing this world. If you have that mood, you're going to have a really exciting eternal existence. And you say, well, back to God, it would sure be nice, and preaching would sure be nice. But here's an interesting point that Prabhupada makes about Prahlad Maharaj. Prabhupada said that Prahlad Maharaj is simultaneously in the material world and the spiritual world. So as we say in America, you can have your cake and eat it too. You can actually go back to Godhead and be in your original loving relationship with Krishna and his transcendental pastimes, at the same time be an agent of Lord Chaitanya in the material world for sparking off a spiritual revolution. You can do both things simultaneously. So anyway, the whole point is just be a pure devotee, and let Krishna do whatever he wants with you. You see, Prabhupada said, "I'm just a puppet. My Lord Krishna, you pull the strings, make me dance, make me dance, make me dance as you like." You see, you just have that mood. So how much should one cultivate that mood of just being the pure devotee? Well, how about 24 hours a day? At every minute, you see. Always begging Krishna for pure devotional service. How about chanting your rounds in that mood? Because isn't that what the japa means? My dear Radha and Krishna, please make me your pure devotee. Please, Radha and Krishna, please bless me with prema bhakti. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, I recommend that one should constantly be in that mood. When you offer obeisances, you can say your prayers, and then you can beg, my dear Krishna and Balaram, please bless me with pure devotional service. Please bless me, I can be free from all my anarthas, all my lust, my anger, my greed, my madness, my illusion, my envy. Please, my dear Lord, completely purge my heart from all this garbage and let me become purely absorbed in thinking of you, talking of you, remembering you, and serving you. So why not pray like this, you see? Why not learn to pray like the great acharyas pray? The Nectar Devotion is full of beautiful prayers of the great acharyas, so we should learn how to pray that way in our own conversations with Krishna, our own conversations with Prabhupada or our spiritual master. We should always be in that mood of begging for pure devotional service and for the empowerment to make the world Krishna conscious. Should always be begging. There's no question of being too much in the mood of a beggar. The difficulty is we're still trying to be the enjoyers. That's the problem. I've been in this movement for almost a half a century now, and I've seen him come, I've seen him go. We've lost more than we've kept. And why did they go away? You see? Because they weren't cultivating pure devotional service. They were trying to enjoy ISKCON instead of cultivating pure devotional service. So don't be a statistic of somebody who left Krishna consciousness. Don't be a sorry statistic by taking this movement as something for your enjoyment. No, do not take it for your enjoyment. But I want to be happy. Prabhupada said to chant, be happy. But here's the secret is, I'm not telling you not to be happy, but I'm telling you how you're going to have unlimited bliss at every minute. That's what I'm telling you. I'm telling you I haven't tasted unlimited bliss at every minute, you see. Instead of trying to be the enjoyer, you always be begging, Krishna, please save me. Please save me. Please save me of fallen. Save me. Please make me the pure devotee. Please make me the pure devotee. Keep that mood always going. Make that your constant. As soon as you wake up in the morning, the first thought, Krishna, please bless me, I can be your pure devotee. You see? Always be thinking that way. Always chant your japa in that mood. Always be meditating. Please, Krishna, make me your pure devotee. I'm sick and tired of being a rascal, trying to enjoy separately from you. Please let my only desire be to please you unlimitedly with every thought in my brain, every word in my mouth, every action in my body. You see, if you try to cultivate that mood, it's not going to happen. It could happen instantly. There's examples of Kadmbanga Maharaj. He immediately attained pure bhakti. Of course, it's a rare thing, but it does happen. He was actually a powerful Kshatriya, very powerful earthly king. The demigods were being attacked by the demons in the heavenly planets. They could not hold off the attack of the demons. So they had to ask an earthly king, Maharaj Kadmbanga, to come and save them, and he did. He fought valiantly for many years. He completely just drove all the demons out of the heavenly kingdom. And the demigods then said, whatever benediction you want, we will give it to you. Just let us know. So he didn't ask for any material opulence. He was very intelligent. They're called Rajarshi. They're saint and king at the same time. He said, just tell me when I'm going to die. Just tell me when I'm going to die. That's all I want to know. The one boon is when I'm going to die, is, oh, your death is just now coming. Thank you very much. Immediately took shelter and became the pure devotee. So it is possible to become a pure devotee even in a minute. So why not try for it at every minute? See what I'm saying? Why not try to be a pure devotee right now? Krishna, please bless me right now. I can be your pure devotee. You may say, wouldn't I feel frustrated if I didn't achieve it? No. The more you're in that mood of begging for pure devotional service, intensely begging for pure devotional service, the more you feel an amazing ecstasy awakening within your heart. That's a fact. You will feel an amazing ecstasy of your spiritual identity starting to awaken is the eternal servant of Krishna, one of his associates in his transcendental pastimes. Of course, that comes later on. When we realize who we actually are. As neophytes, we don't try to jump prematurely. Well, I think, just like one brahmachari in Mayapur many years ago, we only had 2 buildings then, the long building and the conch building and the Prashadam hall, the early days in Mayapur. So in that long building, he was going around in his room like a peacock. Whoop, whoop, whoop. He said, Prabhu, what are you doing? I'm practicing my rasa. Don't try to jump to your rasa, you see. Sometimes people come to Vrindavan and think, yeah, I must be a gopi. I'm going to cultivate gopi bhav. Yeah. Don't try to jump prematurely to your rasa. Just be the totally sold-out servant of Guru and Krishna. That's how you actually awaken into your original identity. If you try to jump prematurely into it, you won't achieve it. There was one time in ISKCON, a group of devotees in Los Angeles called the Gopi Bhava Club. And Prabhupada he smashed it. There's a whole thing in the Veda base. It's on the MP3 collections also. You hear how Prabhupada smashed the Gopi Bhava Club. He said, first deserve, then desire. So don't try desiring some rasa with Krishna as a gopi or a gopa or whatever, a peacock. Don't try to jump prematurely desiring some rasa. You just desire to be the totally sold-out servant of your spiritual master and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Krishna. And then naturally that will come when it's meant to come. You see. It will naturally come when it's meant to come. So anyway, I've been talking quite a bit here. Maybe there's some questions I can try to answer them. Anybody have any questions? Let's see, we have on the internet also. Okay, question.
You said that Krishna is the one who is doing everything, is the cause of all causes.
Yes.
So, now whatever we are doing, whether good or bad, so he is allowing us to do all those things.
What is the question?
Krishna is the cause of all causes, and whatever we are doing, does he allow us to do everything, whatever we want?
Yes, Krishna sanctions us. Of course, you can't do everything that you want, but that, according to your karma, it's not that you want to become a millionaire. You become a millionaire because you want to become a millionaire. You see, according to your karma, Krishna will allow you that, according to what you deserve from your past pious and impious activities, that Krishna sanctions you to give. But if you surrender to Him, then you go over, you totally transcend that karma. You see, your karma may have been to die at the age of 38. When you become a devotee, you may live to be 100. You see, become a devotee, then you can go beyond karma. But other than that, you're under the law of karma. If you're just an out-and-out karmi, sense enjoyer, you're going to get what you deserve according to your past pious and impious activities. Nothing more, nothing less. You have your free will is to choose whether to act as karmi or devotee. That's your free will, your choice. You can act as a devotee of Krishna, Rishikesha Rishikena Sevanam, or you can act as a servant of your senses. That's your choice, that's your free will. And so our process is to encourage people to actually, serve Krishna instead of serving their senses. Does that help a little bit? Jai.
Just like you say that you have a free will. So I understand when we come to this material world, Krishna gives us the package that in this your life you have to do this all your karmas, day to do activities, whatever we are doing. So he is allowing us all to do, whether we are devotee or non-devotees. He is sanctioning everything and he is giving us everything. So how can we understand that whatever we are doing is a free will, you say? But I don't think there is a free will. Whatever he has given us, that we are practicing, we are doing those things.
What is it?
So how to understand, because Krishna is sanctioning everything and Krishna is everything giving, that what we are doing is a free will, that we have free will.
Krishna gives you the choice to serve him or not to serve him. You have that you have a choice of serving your senses or serving him. That choice is always there. That's your free will. Krishna gives you that free will because otherwise you're not very interesting for him. You see, Krishna wants loving associates. That's why Krishna is emanating you from himself eternally to have a loving relationship with you. That's why you exist. Now, love cannot be forced. I put a gun in your head, love me or I'll blow your brains out. You see, love is voluntary. So Krishna has to give you that choice to love him or to leave him. Now, it's up to you. What do you want to do with that choice? Krishna gives you complete free will because then you're actually a person he can have loving reciprocation with. Otherwise, there's no question of loving reciprocation. You're just a puppet. Can you have a loving relationship with a puppet? No. But a living being who has free will, then you can have a loving relationship. Krishna wants your love. That's why you exist. And that's why he gives you the choice to love him or to leave him, so you can actually love him. The choice isn't there, you can't love him. You understand? Jai. Next question. Question here.
Prabhuji, you said that many devotees left ISKCON because they were enjoying ISKCON and not trying to cultivate pure devotional service. So, my question is, say I am enjoying prasadam, Krishna prasadam. I am enjoying it. My mentality is not good, but Krishna and Prabhupada, they are Paramamsas, they are great, they are beyond greatness. So will they look at my fault?
You can enjoy prasadam, there's nothing wrong. Enjoy it, you can relish prasadam. Prasadam ki jai.
Or for that reason, say any other ISKCON facility.
But if you're simply in the matter of enjoying, you may eat until you become sick and sleep the whole day. You see what I'm saying? You have to be in the mood of service. There's the enjoyment is there, definitely, but you have to be in the mood of service. That's the point. You understand? Yeah. Okay? Huh? Let's get the mic.
Devotees have other kind of enjoyment. That's what was meant in the lecture. Sometimes they're just looking for the girls. Man looks for the woman. Woman looks for the man. That's their sense gratification.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why in Vedic culture there's no looking for a spouse. It's all arranged. This idea of looking, coming to ISKCON and looking for a spouse, not very good mentality. This marriage I have is arranged by that's the way to go. Arranged marriages are the thing, not looking for a spouse. Well, do you think you'd like to marry me? This is nonsense kind of stuff. Trying to enjoy, a pretty girl, I like. No, you have to be in just the mood of service. That makes things much better, much more ecstatic in the mood of service. Next.
This regarding the order given by the spiritual master to the disciple. If the order looks too like a Himalayan for the disciple and he feels like he's just an insignificant nothing, so how can we develop faith of the order of the spiritual master?
What is it?
If a disciple gets a huge instruction from a spiritual master and he's insignificant, how to develop faith to this instruction?
If he's insignificant?
Like he cannot, the instruction is so huge that you feel insignificant to fulfill that order of spiritual master. So how to
actually, the sincere, Baba gave us the order to deliver the whole world. That's a pretty big order. Okay? Just the endeavor to do that gives the sincere endeavor to carry out the task, even if it's a Herculean task, The sincere endeavor gives great happiness to the spiritual master. When he sees that you're sincerely endeavoring to carry out his order, even though it seems completely impossible to carry out. What is that old saying? Impossible is a word in a fool's dictionary. So one should take the order of the spiritual master as one's life and soul, even if it seems absolutely impossible to carry it out. And that gives great pleasure to the spiritual master. Ki Jai. Next.
Correction. Srila Gurudev, in this verse, there is a two word, Gyanam and Gayam.
Jnana and Vijnana?
Gyanam and Gayam.
Oh, in the verse? Okay.
Object of knowledge.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay.
That, what is the difference between this knowledge and the object of knowledge?
That's an interesting question. Jnana, the knowledge. Okay, we go back here to text 18. Okay. It's not object, the objective, not object of knowledge, objective of knowledge. Well, the objective, that we are the eternal servants of Krishna, that's knowledge. The objective is we surrender that knowledge, we surrender to him. The purpose. You see, the knowledge is there, and what is the purpose of that knowledge? The objective of it. The purpose is to actually put it into practice and surrender to Krishna. Okay? Next. All right, I'll take him and the year after him.
How can one develop the desire for constantly praying for
Develop what?
Develop a constant desire to pray.
desire for constantly praying for pure devotion?
Desire for constantly praying for devotional service.
Yeah, it's very simple. How do you train your mind to always be in that mood of praying for pure devotional service? You just beg for it as often as possible. In the beginning, you might think about it about 5 minutes a day. You say, Krishna, please bless me. I can be totally absorbed in thinking of you, always thinking of loving you and serving you. Then you get to 10 minutes a day, and then 20 minutes. You just keep begging and begging and begging, and it gradually increases. It may take many decades to achieve that full absorption. It could take many lifetimes even. But you just keep begging and begging and begging, and that progress will give you great inspiration and encouragement when you see how you're advancing, you see. Like a little child, he learns 1 + 1 = 2, he becomes enlivened, then he learns 2 × 2 = 4, then he learns algebra and trigonometry and calculus, you see. So in this way you gradually expand your ability to absorb yourself in that loving mood. And each step becomes more enlivening. Now he was the next. And then he's next, and then you're next. Okay. It's written on a piece of paper? Okay. All right. What are the factors that increase determination for pure devotional service? Well, you have to be intelligent. You have to realize by not being a pure devotee, I'm simply punishing myself. Actually, not being a pure devotee is a form of masochism. It's self-punishment. And not embracing pure devotional service, I'm punishing myself unnecessarily. I'm foolishly punishing myself by not being in the mood of pure devotion. So one has to simply become intelligent and realize this is my highest self-interest. You see, we can be selfish. This is transcendental selfishness. Prabhupada says to become Krishna conscious is the highest self-interest. So we don't say don't be selfish, we say be intelligently selfish. You should understand that your highest happiness is to become totally absorbed in loving Krishna with every thought, word, and deed in all times, places, and circumstances, 24/7. That's your highest happiness. So you should be very aggressive to achieve it. Next, let's see, who was, okay. And then you're after him. Okay.
Srila Prabhupada used to do pandal programs in big cities in India. Srila Prabhupada did pandal programs. So how come we're not doing those anymore?
The big pandal programs? I'm not Indian to know what's going on. They're not doing big Pandal programs in India anymore? I don't know. Are there any big Pandal programs? I don't know. I'm not in India to say. So you feel that we should be doing big Pandal programs in India? Why don't you work for it and organize? Preach it up. Let's do some big Pandal program. Next, back over here, behind you. Shiva's the next, and then you can be after her.
Gurudev, is it possible to develop pure love of God without completely getting rid of our anarthas?
Is it possible to get achieve pure love of God without completely purifying from anarthas?
Oh no! You have to get rid of your anarthas. As long as you're lusty, angry, greedy, maddened, delusioned, pure devotional service will not manifest. You have to become free of all the anarthas. Now this Mataji is next.
Hare Krishna Gurudev. My question is related to the same point what you have told about whatever we are doing in our life, it is because of the instructions of Krishna. But sometimes in our life, especially regarding a very important turning point in our life, we are stuck between two roads. Which to choose? The first one or the second one? How do I come to know what is Krishna's instruction for me to choose road A or road B? Road B.
Yes.
That is my question.
I don't know what the proper choice is at every minute. Well, please.
Yeah.
Well, you have to become Shastra Chaksus. You should be regularly studying Prabhupada's books. Just like my disciple here needs glasses. Take off your glasses for a minute. Everything's pretty blurry now, right? Yeah. So put your glasses on again, you see. So he can see clearly with his glasses. So we have another type of glasses that's called Shastra. If you're not seeing through the eyes of Scripture, you will be confused because everything's blurry. But when you learn how to see through the eyes of Scripture, that's called Shastra Chaksus. The more you read these books of Prabhupada, you will be able to analyze everything according to Scripture, and you become perfect in every decision you'll make. So every devotee should read all these books again and again throughout the whole life, you see. Like what book are you reading right now?
Right now I'm reading, actually I feel comfortable reading in Hindi. So I'm reading Bhagavad-Gita, Bhagavatam.
Oh, that's good.
Chapter
That's good.
1.3.37.
Very good. So this regular reading and hearing classes, asking questions like you're doing now, to become learned and in this philosophy, to see everything through the eyes of the Scripture, and then when in doubt you can always ask your spiritual master or senior devotees too, you see. But in this way you will develop the intelligence, the discrimination, the vision of what will please Krishna in every situation. That will come gradually. Okay? Next. Yeah, next.
Hare Krishna Srila Gurudev. For a devotee, if any material possession has been carried away by Krishna, he will consider it as a blessing. He thinks that Krishna is trying to get me closure. But for a non-devotee, if the same material possession has been carried away, so what Krishna is expecting from the non-devotee when he is carrying away his material possession?
Do you follow it?
Material property, anything material possession, like non-devotee. What's the difference? He's considered as a blessing. So for a non-devotee, the same material position has been taken away by him. So what Krishna is actually expecting from a non-devotee?
So when Krishna takes away something from devotee, it's like a blessing for the devotee.
Yeah.
But when it's taken away from non-devotee, so what is considered then?
That's
What does Krishna expect?
when the non-devotee receives something or loses something, it's all according to karma. It's all karma. It's exactly what he's earned by his pious and impious activities. And that karma is actually Krishna's mercy. The law of karma is also Krishna's mercy. To be this suffering. In other words, it's a suffering condition. Even when you're in the material world, even when you're rewarded, you're still in a miserable position. In other words, material happiness is called maya sukhaya, illusory happiness. Even when you're getting rewarded for pious activities, it's also a different type of suffering. In other words, when the suffering isn't so bad, I think I'm enjoying, but actually the material world is constant suffering. So that when the devotee, when the non-devotee, I mean to say, engages in sense gratification, he's keeping himself in a suffering condition. Whether it's even in the so-called material happiness, it's also a suffering condition. So that suffering condition is Krishna's kindness upon him to help him realize this is not my actual position. Why am I suffering, you see? When one asks that question, why am I suffering, then his human life starts to take place. Let's see if we have many devotees tuned in on the internet. Let's see if we can get there. No one's tuned in? No questions yet, okay. You put it where I can see the questions if they come in. Okay, next.
Thank you so much for a nice class. Following from the class that began in Srimad Bhagavatam the other day.
Listen to him.
About lust. You gave some answer to one devotee who was having trouble with lust.
Yeah.
And you told him to pray Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu, Daya Kono More. And I'm doing that, but I need further help because when I examine myself, this is one huge anartha that sits within my heart.
Let me ask you, are you a male? You're having trouble with lust, right? Are you a male? Are you a male? Tell me.
I'm identifying with this body as a male.
That's your problem. You walk down the street. Oh, there's a good-looking girl there. There's another looking. That's your. If you walk down the street, boy, that girl looks really good over there. If you're doing that, you're thinking you're a male. You have to realize I'm not a male. Why am I attracted to girls? I'm not a male. If you feel attracted to a girl, it means you're foolishly thinking yourself to be a male. You got to kick it out. I'm not a male, so why should I be attracted to females? I'm not even a male. You have to keep reminding yourself of that, and you'll be okay. You're not a male. I mean, just like a female is not attracted to a female, why you should be? You're no more of a male than these women are males. You understand? These girls over here, you're no more of a male than they are. So why you should be attracted to them? Sexually. Doesn't make any sense. It's stupid. Next.
You said one can simultaneously serve Lord Chaitanya's movement here and can awaken his spiritual identity in Goloka. So how is that possible?
By the grace of Krishna. Prabhupada gives the example of Prahlad Maharaj is in both words simultaneously. So Krishna's grace, that can be done. See, the thing is, we just surrender to Krishna. And our mood is whatever Krishna wants me to do, I'm willing to do it. If he wants me to be in the spiritual world only, engage in those pastimes in the Goloka, or he wants me to be with Lord Chaitanya, the Lord Chaitanya's movement, making a spiritual revolution here on planet Earth, he wants me to do either or, he wants to do both, whatever he wants me to do, that's all. You don't have to worry about trying to manipulate yourself to some position. You just put yourself fully in the hands of Krishna and let him do with you whatever he wants to do with you. You understand? That's all. But while you're here, you have to be thinking about making a spiritual revolution and becoming a pure devotee. While you're here, you have to have both meditations. But here in the Singha, Hriday in the Singha. As long as you're here, you have to think about qualifying yourself to see Krishna face to face and to think about revolutionize this planet as much as you possibly can. Book distribution, Harinam, cultivation programs, prasadam distribution, making devotees. You should be very, very aggressive to do these things, you see. Next thing. Everyone satisfied?
You said he emanates jivas because he wants to enjoy certain rasas. He emanates all of us.
Krishna emanates jivas because he wants to enjoy rasas.
But we also know that Krishna is Purna, is complete. So
Yeah.
why does he expect that love from us? Is there a...
Why, since he's complete, why does he even need our love? Who the hell are these people? I don't need them. I'm complete, right? Krishna could do that if he wanted to. He could just be all alone. And I mean, even with no Radharani, no Nanda Maharaj, he could be totally alone if he wanted to be. But his desire is to have all these loving relationships. That's his desire, so who can argue with God? That's what he wants. That's what he gets. Because he's the supreme all-powerful personality of Godhead, because his completeness is to have an unlimited number of loving relationships. That's called complete. Yes. Om Purnam. His completeness, he has an infinite number of loving relationships. That is the perfection of completeness. Next. Everyone's satisfied now, getting ready to become pure devotee and get out and transform world history, turn history right side up. Make a spiritual revolution in your town, your village, your city, your home. Everybody's ready to revolutionize this planet. Anything else? Questions? Yes.
Srila Prabhupada is the best example for spiritual impetus. Srila Prabhupada is the best example for spiritual impetus.
What is it?
Srila Prabhupada is the best example of a spiritual impetus.
Yes.
He made us to study scriptures, Bhagavad-Gita, Bhagavad and everything.
He left the scriptures to study Bhagavatam, Bhagavad-Gita and everything.
But Prabhupada is personally there in his purports. Prabhupada is personally there. He's fully present in these books. You don't have, not that in Prabhupada's physical absence you can't get his mercy. He's fully present in these books. If you abide these books, Prabhupada is right there in your heart. You'll be right packed up tightly with Prabhupada if you read these books very carefully and follow them. Even when Prabhupada was here, most of us didn't get that much association. Most of us didn't. You know, we were the sannyasis would be on the morning walk, we'd be back in the temple chanting our japa. You know what I mean? Even most devotees, even the Prabhupada disciples, a lot of us didn't get that much. We got a little bit here and there, but we didn't get that much. So our connection was hearing the lectures, which you can do also. The MP3 collection is there, and reading the books. So just as we were connected, you can also be connected. Is that all right? Yes.
So following that question, then what is the need of having a guru?
What's the need of having a guru if Prabhupada's already there?
Yeah, if you are saying that Prabhupada is already there through the books, then what is the
Yes.
need of having a guru?
Well, Prabhupada means to follow the orders of Prabhupada. If you say, well, it's just like the Ritvik philosophies, we just have Prabhupada, but we don't obey his orders. You know, Prabhupada said that after he departs, his disciples should become gurus. Prabhupada even told me, some devotees are bewildered by this, but he told me that I could aspire to become Jagat Guru. Prabhupada personally told me. So for his disciples to be guru was his order. It's because he wants us to initiate disciples. He said he discussed this very clearly. They will be the grand disciples. Prabhupada made it very clear. You say, well, I'll connect with Prabhupada by following his instructions. The Ritviks say, no, I'll just be a disciple of Prabhupada, but you're disobeying him. That's an imaginary Prabhupada you're connecting with, not the real Prabhupada. You see, that's an imaginary Prabhupada. It's called a Maya Prabhupada. The real Prabhupada is the one who says, you become the disciple of my disciple after my departure. That's the real Prabhupada. And when you do that, you become the disciple of Prabhupada's disciple. Now then you have a real Prabhupada within your heart, not some pseudo-Ritvik Prabhupada. You understand? Yes. Wait for the mic.
Prabhupada also said, make Guru concrete, not just book.
Make Guru concrete.
Yes. Some
No.
lady asked Prabhupada that we read your book, then we accept you as a spiritual master. And Prabhupada said, reading book is not enough. Make Guru concrete. That means you take one of living Guru and accept the Guru.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's important to have that relationship with the spiritual master. It's essential. We were all just doing everything we could. Just any chance we had that we could serve him, we were just looking for every single opportunity.
Books can be misinterpreted by every individual, but the spiritual master will be there to correct.
The fact is we need a living guru to train us up. That's a fun. To show us, because see, the books can't chastise you. The guru can say, "You rascal, you did the wrong thing. You see, your attitude is wrong." The spiritual master can scold you. Your attitude is wrong. That's nonsense what you did. You see, so we need to have a living spiritual master to help us get properly situated. Who can tell us when we're doing something right, we're doing something wrong. It's a fact. The books can't do that. Books can give you the idea, but because you're in material attachments, you may interpret that I'm okay to be lusty, or whatever. You see. Some devotees interpret it's okay to be lusty, because you have to be satisfied in Krishna consciousness. They concoct so many philosophies. So the guru, so one has to have a spiritual master and take him as Vishnu Jan said, as good as God. That's how I was trained by Vishnu Jan Swami. That's a fact.
I have a small question.
Yes. Mike? So everybody can hear.
I have a small question, Gurudev. Like Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the mission is Sankirtana Yajna, which is progressing only on major cities, like major countries and major cities.
Who's focusing? Lord Krishna is quoting on every. Lord Krishna is focusing on every single jiva soul. That's his focus.
Yeah,
the whole world.
Whole world, but small villages.
Everywhere. Lord Chaitanya wants everyone in every village, every town, every hamlet to become Krishna conscious, not just the big cities. Everywhere.
I didn't see most of the villages. Or this Sankirtana Yajna is going on, only major cities.
My internet goes everywhere. I'm doing the internet. I got 34,000 people signed up in all kinds of places.
So my village doesn't have internet, like small.
Yeah. So you go to the villages then. You go to the villages. There we go. We got somebody's going to preach in the villages now. Ki Jai. Haribo. Okay, next. Everyone satisfied, ready to become pure devotees? So, okay, what we'll do is we have a little prasadam here to pass out, and I have to go do Damodar Ashtakam. So I need to be back. I need to be leaving here. So we'll go ahead and pass out the prasadam, and we wish you all now to take very seriously these teachings that we've given you. They're not my teachings. These are the teachings of Prabhupada and the previous acharyas. I'm just a messenger boy. That's all I am. I'm just trying to purely give you exactly what Prabhupada's teachings are so that you can all become pure devotees and you can all have a revolutionary impact on this planet Earth and indeed the whole universe. So thank you very much for tuning in. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.